Charles. Oh, wait, let's make sure I gotta move my microphone when you're in a new location. Gonna move the microphone. Okay, that should be a good, yeah. With the Shure SM7B on the, you need two desks really. I'm just in one. I got a nice table that I'm on right now. Pretty nice setup in the Space Coast. I'm on Space Coast. That just seems cool. It's space. Space just seems cool. I'm actually long on the corn right now. Got stopped out of my Ethereum short. Doge short is not looking bueno. But the account that I started with is up 10% so far. And even if I get stopped at the Doge, it just won't be too bad. Yeah, guys, smash the like button. Head to Costa Rica in a few days. I'm pretty excited. Moving out of an apartment is moving anywhere is a lot of work. AVEX to hit 30. So, I mean, we'll talk about it once we get into the stream, but we have the bullish div on the 7-day on Bitcoin, which is a really bullish sign, which it's kind of the unlikely scenario. Now it takes on the 9-day you get the same thing. That's going to take 7 days to confirm, but on the 7-day that confirms. Let's see, 22 hours. We'll talk about that. So yeah. Awesome, Jason Lee. Hope you enjoy it. What's up, Evan? Been seeing you a few times. Hope you guys aren't here. I'm not muting myself. I'm drinking coffee. Hope you guys aren't hearing that too much. I think they put sugar in it when I told them not to at Dunkin' Donuts, unfortunately. Oh well. Maybe the sugar will give me a little bit more energy for this stream. Gotta hit the gym tomorrow, definitely. So yeah. You can hear the coffee. Let me mute it for the last 20 seconds and let me... Alrighty, what is up, guys? Let's get right into it. Evan Aldo here. What is up, guys? Different location. Right now, let's get into the analysis first. Don't want to keep you waiting too long on this Saturday night. I know it's you guys gotta probably starting a pregame right now. You guys are headed out, having a fun night, or just staring at these crazy Bitcoin charts. We probably should put on we'll look at the moon cycle in a second. But let's get started here with really the 7-day we want to look at. I would say look at the 7-day. You have a bullish div printing right now. It confirms about 22 hours. Obviously in this area right here, probably from like 21 all the way to 25, people were talking about, should I buy, should I buy? And I was saying, wait, there's a lot of risk here. It could go down a bit more. And, it could go down 12K, 13K, all that fear. Wait for a bullish div at least not. There's no guarantees in life. There's no guarantees in this game. We'll talk about a few different scenarios. S&P 500 looks awful. Apple stock looks awful. But just maybe, Bitcoin could act more like gold this time. And it's definitely looking a lot more bullish than S&P 500 right now. That's what I will say. So, you have your bullish div here. Once this confirms, I'm definitely going to add to my Bitcoin stack for long term. ETH I'm a little bit hesitant on because we don't have we'll talk about ETH, but we don't have the bullish, we don't have the bullish div. We just have the green dot. So a little bit hesitant. Definitely, it's possible it could be the bottom, but there's, you know, more. I'm definitely gonna wait to see what happens with the merge with this. If it's a successful merge, looking good, it depends. It depends how the charts look at that point. But this could be, you know, obviously a bearish thing doesn't have to play out every single time, but one, two, you know, blood diamond right here, this could be lagging a little bit, and then bam, you come down to like 500. So that's not going to be, you know, it's like a roller coaster where you just don't know it's going to come down, then it comes down. So be careful. So yeah. Now let's look at Bitcoin a little bit more here. So, you know, same thing on the 9-day, which this is obviously, I think the first time ever you really had this would be a bullish div technique. Yeah. So, you know, this one obviously started this major rally up here. This was not a bullish. I'm trying to think, was there oh, that's not a good point really. Okay. So this was probably a bullish div that didn't play out too well on the 9-day right here. Here to this one. Right. Yeah, that probably would be a bullish div. I'd really have to do it. That one's a little subjective. That one's a little bit borderline, but I would say definitely this would, where was that? That was at 6, 7. This was, yeah, this would be a bullish div, and it did not. It just rolled over. So we do have that to worry about. Definitely have that to worry about. And if it does play sideways for a little bit, some people do think that's possible. It could be sideways for a bit, and then we finally crash down towards the end of the year. You know, it should be said that this cycle's played out exactly in terms of peaks like 2013 so far. Your bottom was not until January of the next year. So there is a case to be made for a giant kind of bull trap. You could also be kind of right here. If it plays out like this green wick we're having right now, take a mental note of this green wick. And I want to show you how it looks right now. See, he came up a bit. This was a little longer. Green wick. Then he could come down. I don't believe it wasn't enough to confirm green up. What could happen in the bearish case is this could roll over. Now, I'm a little bit concerned about that. That's my main concern here. If the S&P 500 was looking a little bit better, if it didn't look like we're about to go into a major recession like 01 or 08, then I'd be a little bit more optimistic. But, you know, the fact that we are printing these in the 7-day in all likelihood will confirm with the bullish div does bring the odds up that we have bottomed out by a lot. But I am still, you know, obviously very hesitant. Now, also you do have, you know, kind of your yellow X right here. And, oh, this is interesting. I didn't notice before. Is this a bullish div? Let's see. Probably would be. Let's actually draw it out. Just I'm being lazy with this. Let me actually draw it out to make sure. This is how you actually, if you guys are new to the channel, this is how you draw a bullish div. You go from the green dots right here. What am I? So from this one to this one, basically, you're coming down. And yeah, it would be a bullish div because see how these momentum waves. So it could be similar to this one. Yeah, it could be very similar to this one. Then we just come up a lot. I do think I'm getting vibes from Naval Ravikant that that's what he's thinking based on what he's saying on Twitter. So, you know, I think if this confirms, I'd probably be wanting to wait to be safe here. Wait till probably your 9-day confirms here. Will you miss out on some stuff if you do wait until it confirms? Maybe not, even if it's like this, comes down a little bit. So wait till that happens. And then if it doesn't confirm, you're probably going to see, a pretty big drop down while that happens. Coming into the merge, I don't know what's going to happen. Some of you guys probably follow the fundamentals of it a little bit more than me. You know, some people think the bull and bear pie will just keep going on. That's probably the least amount of people think that. Some people are very bullish on it. Some people are very bearish on it. I've talked to people with compelling arguments from both sides. The thing that has me a little bit hesitant on ETH also that I forgot to mention is the Bitcoin dominance is still rising here. You know, it's rising throughout this route. This has been a pretty Bitcoin-led rally. So Bitcoin dominance, see, it's coming up as kind of predicted what I was thinking. See that green wick, and you know it's hitting such a major point. So Bitcoin could become the king, especially if we have bottomed out. I think it may continue to outperform a lot of the alts. And if you look at, ETH Bitcoin evaluation here. ETH Bitcoin evaluation. Let's take a quick look at that. You do have a triple top, head and shoulders type pattern at this major fib level. Probably got a technical target there if you break the neckline, and it kind of looks overheated. It kind of looks overheated, and money flow is starting to come out here. So that's my 2 cents on it. I think ultimately, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. In questioning, did we bottom out? There's compelling arguments on both sides. Some of those like breakout type traders, I'm not the biggest, to jump share like that. I think if we, are able to break through kind of this general 22K area, then you're kind of home free. We hit the bottom. I'm one of those type of people who's kind of, doesn't, I don't think really where you break through, means too much. Some people were saying that, I know a lot of people, even a lot of smart people, were saying, since we stayed, in this like 50 for over a month, 50K area, that we'd almost keep it forever, really. They keep that $1 trillion market cap forever. Nope. So you got to keep that in mind. Let's look at our 10-day. I believe it probably nothing. It did confirm on the regulars the yellow X. So if you look at the only experience we have with yellow X's is here. See what I mean? Like this yellow X was confirmed. Kind of both of these served as bottom signals, and you were theoretically home free other than August. So if it's like this, I mean, you will have time to get in. It's not gonna, it doesn't seem like you're just gonna shoot up to 40K. You know what I mean? Like I would still view 2023 as most likely more of an accumulation year. I know Andrew in the exclusive Discord, one of my moderators, sent me something showing like a big area that we could hit, like 32K, I believe, in June of 2023. That would make a lot of sense in terms of this accumulation type area. So yeah. In terms of money flow on the weekly, we haven't come as deep as we bottomed out the last 2 times. We haven't come as deep. So if we come down deeper, we could definitely come down deeper here. It could be just a giant, like I mentioned before. See where this is probably a better. See, kind of like, let's move this one. So you had that green. It's kind of like this full kind of area. But if you look at, how are we looking right now? It's about to turn green again, almost on that weekly 3-day turn green. So 3-day green dot, it doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look half bad usually when you come deep into these 3-day areas. And then we've been in it a while too. However, it could be kind of like over here. See, sideways a little bit more, and bam, right down. Only had 1 yellow X. Took 3 this time before it came down. This time it took 2 to bottom out. So I mean, maybe you need one or 2 more. Also on the thing with the 7-day too is, you have the 2 yellow X's. Some people would, obviously argue this is the first time they've ever come up on the 7-day. Would argue that you hit the bottom. You could theoretically have another 2 yellow X's to bring you, the same trajectory downward to around 10 to 14K, that big area everybody talks about. So yeah. Looking at some of, let's just look at what's going on right now. I've been kind of I added to the long last night in the exclusive Discord. Full disclosure, I mean, I did do a scalp ETH short that was agonizing for a while. It almost got $5 to first take profit, then got stopped out. Part of the game in a Doge short that's kind of underwater right now. We'll see what happens. Not going to close that out. It's Doge, and the exchange is paying me to short it. So yeah, the account I'm working on is up about 10% right now, and I did not start very long ago. I really started with 5K and then added another 5K to the account. It's at 11K right now. So not a bad return so far. We've had some good trades there. And if you guys are interested in Discord, link in the description below. It's been a pretty easy month to trade so far. It's looking more like May of this year. May was a very easy month to trade. June was easy until after the capitulation, in my opinion, unless I just wasn't, thinking straight during that time. July and August were so-so, a little bit falling asleep over the summer. it was an interesting area, but yeah. In terms of some of your low time frames, I mean, this is generally pretty bullish. Looks like you got more gas in the tank. Some curvature on your 6 hour here. So maybe on this, maybe on this 6 hour, I would look to add to maybe mount long some more. It's a risk-free trade because we're just so ahead on it. Your lower time frames do look, pretty bearish. They have for the last 2 days. I mean, it is the weekend. It's the full moon tonight. Full moons tend to, that's why I feel like, the main theory of it, full moons make people act a little bit more, crazy, a little bit more loony. We're loony. And, they make brash decisions. Maybe that decision to just bump up. So, you look at this, you pumped up. I mean, if it's like this, you're kind of almost at the end of it. Maybe you get up to these. I mean, this is going to be a huge area. Whenever you have double spiral lines, that's a big area. I mean, we didn't quite make it down to these ones. There's double spiral lines here at 18.3, but this will be a big area if we do come down that low. Here, typically you do get those pumps with the full moon. It just depends where it will happen, you know what I mean? So, yeah. Let's look at Ethereum right now. So, let's look at the chat real quick. Let's see what you guys are saying. Hold on a second. Were you guys able to see my... Okay. My chart was a little bit cut off here. I forgot to... Let's go like this, actually. Hopefully, not everyone is complaining to me about the chart being cut off. Let's see. Let's see. ADA, sure. How do I feel about the dot and the green three week chart? So I feel the same way about that as I feel about the bullish div on the 7-day and the 9-day. It's obviously historically a very bullish sign. The main what's up, Ryan? Was it thundering? Yeah, it sounds like thunder. It's like a weird thunder. No, something is shaking. That's weird. What is that? That is a weird noise. Seems to be stopping, whatever. Anyway, let's see. How do I feel? Yeah, you get the Discord. You're going to get billed again on the 1st of next month. That's how it works. So, yeah, I've heard this here before. I don't know, there's like some weird noises. Yeah, it's just like shaking. I don't know why this is happening. Whatever. It's like so distracting too. Anyway. Nice pullback. Yeah, so let's talk about the 3-week green dot. So the 3-week green dot here is not printing yet on Icons, but I believe it should be, it's printing on regular candles. Confirms in 22 hours. Right, obviously each time it did give you the bottom. Here, actually it was the bullish div with regular candles. Here it just gave you a nice bottom, and that was, wow, if it's like that, that's just a signal upward. This one, it does confirm in 22 hours, just like the 7-day bullish div, and it does kind of, I mean, let's look at it on, same deal there. Yeah. Something is shaking and I do not know what it is. That doesn't sound like thunder. It's just too... Are you guys able to hear that? Let me turn off the... Yeah, I like hear it on my... It shows on my... I have no clue what that is. I've heard it here before. Last time I was here too. Anyway. So yeah, sorry about that, guys. Let's see here. So the 3-week, it's curving up. In terms of RSIs here, it does look really bullish. I mean, there's a very strong argument to make. I'll give you that strong argument to make that we bottomed out. The only thing, what I would show you, because we don't, Bitcoin's only been around, for so many years, for, what is it now? 11 years, 12 years, 11 years. So we have our S&P 500 here. And, if you look at like typical bottom signals, like let's look at the monthly, or let's look at the 3-week, the same one, just to show you that it's possible that it may not be the bottom. Because look, every little thing here, and this is a good example of it too, this one confirmed, every green little dot below the zero line here on the S&P 500, these were, that 2016, not too well, but that one, they've all been basically, 90% of them from here have been bottom signals, except for this one. See right here? Except for this one, then you came down. Or, this was interesting, this was different time, 2001, see right here? Nope, came down. Next one, nope. Okay, so that's like your horror scenario. We don't, you know what I mean? Like this whole big period here for basically 10 years, they've all worked except for, this little one right here. But even, let's go on the monthly. See, little trigger waves. But you go back here, nope, you were not close at all. This one, I mean, you avoided half of the blood, but no, bottom was finally here. So there is that argument. I mean, anything can happen, guys. So yeah. I'd say if you're trying to accumulate, not financial advice, but if you're trying to accumulate, which is what I'm kind of deciding if I should, do, whether I should wait till this one confirms, which it probably will tomorrow, unless we really dump down probably below, you probably need to go below like 21 to remove this green dot, maybe even lower to accumulate there. Or should I wait till the 9-day? Or put half of what I want to put in tomorrow, then put the next half in 9-day, kind of like dollar cost averaging a little bit. That'd be a good thing to do. That would be a pretty good plan. And I mean, even if you do go to 10K, 12K, I mean, it's not that much lower than 21.5, really. It's not that much lower than 22. This is crypto. If you go to 5K, 3K, which I don't think is very likely at all, you're only down 80%, guys. Not the end of the world. Only down 80%. So, yeah. Let's see here. Let's see here, guys. Smash the like button if you're interested. And let's show you guys some of the trades here. If you guys have any questions, let me know. We'll look at ADA. So here's the Bitcoin long that's doing pretty well. Here's the Dogecoin short that's doing pretty badly. Let's look at Cardano first. First, I want to take a quick look at Cardano Bitcoin, because if it don't outperform Bitcoin, then what's the point? Monthly looks pretty good there. That looks not half bad. Be careful with those split RSIs, though. Be careful with those damn split RSIs. Lower time frames look a little bit overheated. Let's look at Cardano as a whole. Weekly, bullish div, kind of like the same thing we're seeing on other things. Let's look at it on the Kraken chart. I believe there's more data. Yeah, I mean, weekly, here it looks, not as convincing, because look, I mean, how long after this one we were just in the grays, but yeah, for some of these alts, really that reckoning was here. That was, I wasn't as involved here in crypto or in the market in general at this point in my life. I was a paralegal. I was more into law aspects of things. I mean, I did, put a good amount. I think I bought towards the bottom of this, like very close to the bottom. I put about probably $5,000 into Bitcoin at that point. So yeah, I believe it was, I don't remember the exact, was it a full Bitcoin at that point? But that was a good buy. But that was just messing around. Like there wasn't too much. That was just luck. And I put some into the SPY as well at that point. Got lucky. It was like when everybody was talking about it, world is over, all this type of stuff. So got lucky there, but you guys don't care about that. Cardano, there's a strong argument to make. Will it outperform ETH, though? Because what's the point if it can't outperform ETH? Yeah, weekly looks kind of the same against ETH. It could. Yeah, it absolutely could. Historically, no, because historically, once we bottom out, Bitcoin outperforms all the alts for a good amount. This 3-week ADA ETH does not look good. So yeah. And just to show you guys, still, because I don't want to be overly bullish or bearish one way or another here. Your main probably, yeah, this actually does look pretty damn good right now. This, yeah, I almost want to, yeah. I mean, looking at this right now, things change, but looking at this, I almost want to close out that Doge. I want to close out any short right now and just go all in long, but nah, that's risky in this environment. Yeah. Yeah, Parish Parsa. That's what I do in the Discord. There are trades there. No, it's better to be down, Bob G. You want to always lose. That's the goal of this game. Running, catching up, Iron Man. So more of a chill stream. I'm not the fastest. I mean, let's see here. That's why they paused it. Interesting. Fox Business now. CNBC is too much flopping and groping. It's just all nonsense. Nothing interesting here. There was one article that was kind of where was it? There was something interesting here. It was like an article. Did they take it off? It was like, yeah, this, yeah. That's another kind of bottom signal type thing when you're seeing stuff like that. Because I haven't seen too many articles just saying it could be dead, you know what I mean? So, yeah. There is, things are kind of turning around the curve a little bit. Let's see here. Let's see, what else do you guys want me to look at? So here's the main concern too, because we know, SPY in a perfect world, Bitcoin, and this is what I hope is going to really happen here. Bitcoin crypto outperforms S&P 500, outperforms the NASDAQ while they continue to crash. Main thing for S&P 500, I mean, we look at, this looks probably as bad as you can get on this weekly. The 7-day even looks worse. The 7-day is just, I mean, the last time this happened, I mean, I guess it could theoretically in a perfect world end up, where was it? Like this in low 3 where you did bottom out, but I think it's going to be more like this blood diamond because it's more close to where we were still in the green here. And then he came down a lot. So it looks like that kind of slow bleed area. Also, I would be waiting, really to look for if these EMAs go back into the brights. That's one thing I would really be looking for. Because look, I mean, almost every time in modern history, every time it goes back into the brights here, you're home free for a while. I mean, this was a nice ride. This was, somebody using leverage, somebody trading 125% in 6 years. So 3x leverage, I mean, there's fees with that, but that's a 300%er. So it's a decent strategy with the SPY if you got some patience. Here I remember this FUD back here, but same deal here. What was this one? This is probably far less, but yeah, 65%. This was not a good decade. It's kind of the main pattern. Like this decade, now no bueno. This decade, bueno. Now this decade, probably no bueno. Probably no good, guys. We're not off to a good start. I'm not seeing, let's just look at these, RSIs right now. They're curving back down, right. there, if you compare that, it kind of is giving me vibes like this. You see what I mean? Kind of giving me vibes like this, and I hate to say it, but if we're getting vibes like that, you're gonna kind of, you know, even here too, you're gonna see this come down, and crypto could come down, you know, a lot more. The other thing for Bitcoin, and this was the minimum time frame on both Bitcoin and Ethereum that a deep green dot gave you at the bottom, the 16-day. This, I kind of have a fear that this could come over and you get a red dot, and that's what brings you down farther. So, yeah, that's the main FUD right there. In terms of the QQQ, I mean, this, you know, looks probably as bad, you know, very similar to the S&P 500. I think we're really due for this to start bleeding against the SPY. This looks as bad as possible on the weekly. I mean, people would make the argument, you know, it's kind of like this, but I don't know, like deep anchor trigger wave right there. We're in a recession. You know, there's a lot of differences between 2015 and now. There's a lot of things that can make this play out a lot worse. You know, make it look a lot more like this. Oof. You know what I mean? Like, so that's, I mean, it could. Imagine ETH merge, just biggest sell the news event ever. Yeah, I almost like thinking about it some more. I kind of want to wait till that 9-day bullish div confirms to, you know, just increase my long-term Bitcoin holding position now. But maybe I'm just being too paranoid. But yeah, because if this is something like this, I mean, this was, how long did this even? September 8th to, no, yeah, it's just straight down, straight down. And if you look at SpyQ, this looks pretty bullish, I believe. What did I do? Come on. You can see it's just bleeding and bleeding and bleeding, and then, you know, this looks a little bit more bullish than over here. I mean, there's these times, it seems like every time it comes into the, you know, it looks more like here. You know, I'd say at minimum, you're probably going to see a bit more. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to bleed against this forever. You're eventually going to see, you know, one of these money flow crossovers act more like this. You see what I'm saying? And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, bunch of yellow X's. Well, obviously, you make the argument, keep coming down, but it's finally, I think we're finally the time to start, you know, just doing well against the, against S&P 5, against the QQQ here. Lower time frames do look a little bit overheated though. And then let's look at gold. So gold is, you know, it's the same, you know, view I've had. I mean, it could come down another 20-30%, but I do think it's going to bottom out before the S&P 500 and do typically how it's done in previous recessions. Cup and handle, technical target around here, that could happen in a couple of years, I think. Your monthly looks pretty dang similar to 04. You know what I mean, guys? Like, look at that, you know, coming up right there. Same deal right there. So that's that. Obviously, you know, some may argue it could be more like this and nothing really happens in 87, but I think it's going to do relatively well. So yeah, and then silver is obviously the more volatile version of gold, and you're hitting a major point right now, bouncing off of that. This is probably a good scalp long, you know, good something day would swing long up to maybe back up to 20 bucks, I think could happen. So yeah, looks like you're going to get a bullish div on that weekly, and that's been a while since you have had a bullish div like that. I mean, it would probably be most comparable to this one, and you came up, you know, you came up for the next couple of years here. So yeah, but generally this is, you know, very sideways, not too interesting, but yeah, bottomed out a couple months before the S&P 500 and then went parabolic 400%. So yeah. chat here, guys. Let's see. God save the king. Nasdaq is making a higher high in the weekly. So that's a bullish sign, you think, Luciana? Yeah, with that blood diamond, though, on the 7-day. How do I feel about 33, 36K and then 9 to 14K? It's possible. I think it's more likely you wouldn't get much above 30K. That's what I think. I mean, there's one thing I was looking at that kind of maps out to 30K. That is possible, and then drop, another 50% dump towards the end of the year. That is possible. What's up, Jay Sherlock? Thanks for being here, man. Yeah, Dixie. So the Dixie is starting to reject, which from major point. I would say you kind of, just looking at this at face value, you're gonna come down at some point here. Either you're gonna just continue this zigzaggy pattern and then come up to 113 or something, or you're gonna come down at least a little bit. That is so overheated on that 7-day. Yeah. I could see you coming back down to this point, before continuing further here. Back to this point. That's quick. It moves quicker than it would be, in a month or something. That would most likely make the stock market go up. But if it goes down, the stock market also goes down. What's going to go up? I believe commodities. Maybe another run at oil. Lower time frames do look pretty bearish on this, especially the 4 hours, especially the 3 hours. So, yeah. Yeah, it does. That's why I want to kind of, especially if that 9-day confirms, that's why I want to accumulate at least a bit more Bitcoin. It's different depending on how much you already have. I have a ton of Bitcoin. It's not going to really, me just accumulating more. I already have a ton. If you don't have any, that's a different story. You know what I mean? Not financial advice though, but it makes me want to, take some cash and put it into Bitcoin. That's what it's looking like here. But if you do have a time like the 1980s, which is a very interesting time, you're just going to keep going parabolic. However, you could do something like this beforehand. 80s was a tricky time. Like 80s, I could see why Ray Dalio was betting on a depression. I feel like it could have been in some scenarios depression, and I feel like maybe now could turn into that horror scenario. Maybe. I'm not saying it's necessarily going to happen. I don't have a crystal ball, but yeah. Let's see. Mount Gox, some people have I'm not an expert on the situation. I don't know exactly forget how many Bitcoin it is, but I do think it can significantly make the market go down. Now, would it make it go down 50%? Probably not. Could it make it go down 20%? Sure. Luna, we could take a look at that. That's obvious. I act more like a meme at this point. Everybody's talking about it. This was a potential short. I was talking about possibly I didn't take this. I thought it was too risky, but you would have got stopped out. Yeah, but if there's some exchanges you could definitely short this on. I think like any other thing, it goes parabolic. I think it's going to start to come down. Can it go higher if the market continues to go higher? Maybe, but these technicals look very bearish. I'd say this might be one of those type, like swing trades that you could ride down for a while and low leverage or something here. That's what it's kind of looking like. There's people who are going to get sliced up with it. Would I trade this? Probably not. But if I were to, there could be some money to be made risking only a small amount. Maybe stop loss above there or something. How much is this up? Yeah, how much is this up? So it's up about 580%. So it's, I've been in this game long enough to realize, like, I'd say 99 out of 100 times, 98 at least out of 100 times, it'll come down and crash pretty hard at some point. Now, catching the top is the issue. But we do have, bullish div, bearish div, money flow. coming out here, I think it's a pretty good bet to make to try to go short on this. Let's see. Yeah, guys, smash the like button. Guys, really good promo going on with BITGET. Link in description below. Check that out if you're interested in trade like me, if you're an experienced trader. Really special promo for the first 10 people. There's still a few slots open for that, so check it out. So right now, I mean, let's just look at really low, low time frames. I mean, this looks like you could pump up a little bit more, looking at how a trigger wave there, given the environment, could act like this one a little bit. Let's look at this this percentage right here. It's about 2%. So 2% is 22. That's going to be obviously a psychological area, 22. And if we look at, let's look at like some volume, like what is out of this entire area, fixed volume range. Let's just see, let's do it from, I don't know, here, I guess. And let's just see, okay. So big point, that's where we were, around 20K. A lot of trading, because obviously a lot of limit orders and crap around there. Let's do it a little bit, usually it doesn't change too much, but let's do it, a little bit more recent. Maybe from here, yeah, why not? That'd probably give us a weird, yeah, right. There's some volume right there. We could probably move it. It's a little subjective. I like to mess around with this a little bit. And then there, that coincides with the spiral line, so this is a little bit choppy around. Yeah, there's some volume around here. I didn't see the point. Yeah. Doesn't seem to be bothering price too much just yet, anyway. Is bull market back? I know you think it is, Jason. I think I was spending the entire time talking about. I hope you're doing well, buddy. I bought some raw milk at a nice farm. Really nice people. I bought some raw milk at today. Good stuff. But yeah, I mean, I think the main it's just a lot to it's a lot to take in, a lot to talk about. Bearish case is if this rolls over, this VWAP here, but bullish case at the same time, if it's like, where is it? If it's like this kind of area right here, then you're kind of home free. It looks like right now, especially with the 7-day, bullish div, it could be home free. What I was showing people to kind of, show you that there's no complete, bottom signal was kind of the S&P 500, because if you look at the monthlies here, monthly like trigger waves, they do very, very well, even in 08. But look right here, 01, you would have been sliced apart. 1, 2, 3. So not necessarily. And we don't have enough data. We don't have enough data on Bitcoin to really see, that much. It's only been around for 11 years. So, yeah. What I'm kind of really waiting for here to accumulate more is, to add to the long-term holdings, is the bullish div to confirm on this 9-day, 7 days. So you may miss out a little bit if we have a really green week here, but I do think that would increase the odds a lot, because really you did probably have some bullish divs here that didn't do much on the 9-day. That's kind of your bearish case. I think a lot of these would have been bullish divs, and then you just came all the way down. That was a boring area. If we're sideways, it's going to be very boring. I mean, we talked about this before, but here, this bullish div, this is the one, has looked more like 2015, 2013, 2014. So that would be the case for the bottom. But yeah, I am bullish on raw milk. Bitcoin can bottom out before the S&P 500. That's what I've been saying. Definitely can, like gold and silver. We'll see what happens here. I mean, it's 100x raw milk. It went up in price too, like every commodity from the places I bought it from. Yeah. Thanks so much, Jason. Shout out to Jason Cat. Check out if you guys yeah, I'm sure you guys are all familiar with Jason Casper, but check out his channel. He does a lot of really good TA. He goes into the exo charts. He goes even more in depth than I do. I gotta learn the exo charts. I'm going to Costa Rica in 5 days. So yeah, yeah. That was not really relevant to the exo charts. Yeah, late night. But yeah. What do you think, Jason, if you're still there? I mean, you 100%. I think you definitely think it's bottomed out, right? Should I go all in right now? Not financial advice. Should I go all in on Bitcoin? Just liquidate or not unliquidate all my, just buy, put all my, USDC, USDT, USDH, all the USs into the Bitcoin. Is that what I should do? What's like a good platform to use? So Bybit is the main sponsor. They're really good. There are other ones as well. I think Bybit has the most trading volume though. All in now. Okay. Yeah, it's Naval Ravikant. I think he's hinting at how he thinks it's really the bottom right now through his tweets and stuff. It's interesting. I mean, I think that I definitely want to wait for at least a little bit more of a confirmation, like the 9-day right there. There was I don't even remember the logic behind this. So there was an argument I was making. I think, especially with the merge, maybe not doing well, but huge sell the news event and just everything dumping on us like that really soon. Like, I feel like not too many. Some people would see it coming because just sell the news, but not too many people would see this all of a sudden here. The other thing I'm concerned about is, the SPY I'm concerned about with 7-day. Looks probably as bad as possible. The weekly looks probably equally as bad, if not worse. And the QQQ looks terrible as well. Maybe, just maybe, we dodge this bullet. But, if you look at, okay, maybe it's like this. You're in the gray EMAs, though. You're in the gray EMAs. The SPY looks more similar, but you're in those gray EMAs, so it looks like you really want to come down a lot more. What's funny is the last time Jim Cramer was talking, Jim Cramer was talking about the, it was funny, he was saying crypto he's really bearish on, still bearish, this was like a week ago. Crypto he's very bearish on. Big tech he's bullish on. So maybe the reverse. Maybe the reverse of it. The exact opposite of what he said, which is crazy. Crypto as well, big tech down. So, okay. So if we reclaim 30K and retest it as support, then I'll be convinced that this is the bottom. So 30K is a big area. The thing with 30K, I was doing it earlier. What's the thing that brings us up to 30K? There was something I looked at that gave us like a technical target at 30K. I can't remember what. 30K, if you could hold that, that would be very powerful. I think you'll be, I think 2023 will be kind of that accumulation year. We were talking about this earlier, where you'll probably see a lot of time in 30K area, like high 20s to high 30s, that kind of area, high 20s to probably mid 30s realistically, that kind of area. We got the 22, we got this to, deal with, but yeah. Altcoins do look, especially ADA looks pretty dang bullish right now. Like it just looks like, with all the, well, let's look at on Kraken because there's more data. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 LXs, and then, ooh, that uneven pig teat right there. That pig teat, look at that. Yeah, so is looking pretty good. You want to look at too, it's like too, because it's like giving us see Bitcoin dominance, which normally starts to go up after we bottom down. It's a Bitcoin driven rally. That's what it looks like this is starting to become. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yellow X's here on the 3-day, trying to come up. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, like every time, those yellow X's don't lie on this usually. So I would probably stick to Bitcoin, maybe a little bit of ETH, a little bit of ETH, but I think it just, you get that. That's what I'm saying. Like, I've been saying this for a while too. If you can get, not financial advice, but if you have the ability now to be a full coiner, a whole coiner, a big boy with a full Bitcoin, a big boy in his video game fake money. To have a full Bitcoin, I think you should do it. Not financial advice. So yeah. Shout out to KPAX. KPAX, I closed that short scalp for another short. I don't know. Okay, let's see. This by another Google user. You've been going hard, man. What's G Money been saying? I don't know. I'd have to. I haven't watched him in a week or so. Yeah, shout out to Jason Casper. Keith? Oh, is that Keith? Yeah. So I am trades right now on this one account. Done pretty well. Got a 10% return so far past week on this account. This could be a loser on the Doge. That's okay though. The Doge short, but just keeping that in. And then exchange is paying me to short Doge, so it's positive. But let's go back to Bitcoin. This trade has been doing really well. Added to it, so just trying to ride this up. So yeah. Let's see here. And shout out again to Jason Casper. Check out his channel. He does some really good TA. Really amazing TA. He's a scalp legend. Like a scalp. He is just like, he gets scalp with his eyes closed. Yeah, we got to do another collab, Jason. I should come on your channel while I'm laying on the beach in Costa Rica next week. Or the week after, really. Yeah. High volume area right there. So yeah, guys. We've looked at Bitcoin, we looked at Cardano. Let's look at the Matic. Yeah, I mean, kind of the same as Lava, coming back into the green. Your split RSIs, be careful with that, but I think you're coming back in the green. It seems like it could overpower it here. There's both cases to be made. Let's look at your Solanas. That money flow I do not like, but you are going to get that bullish dip pretty soon here. 2-day, 3-day look pretty good there. Daily. 4 ELXs. Yeah, those 4 ELXs usually don't. I mean, it could repeat that pattern and come down farther, but yeah, you guys are making me more bullish. You guys are making me real bullish. Yeah. Costa Rica, yeah, man. Costa Rica. I'll be in San Jose first, and then I'll be next to Mark Zuckerberg, next to, what the hell's his name? Jack Dorsey. Tom Brady. Giselle is in Costa Rica right now, I believe, because they're getting divorced, so she's fled the country and went to Costa Rica. So yeah. Short Luna 2 on BITGET forms a rising wedge. Full moon bull. Yeah. Yeah, thanks so much, Tim. Appreciate that. Yeah, Discord, we've been doing well there. Guys, don't blindly follow just any trade group. You got to have your own risk management, all those type of things. So I always try to tell people. But yeah, you guys, if you just got in, shout out to Jason Casper. Check out his channel. He does some really good TA. Subscribe to his channel. He is hilarious as well. Learned a lot from him. Yeah, back when I used to watch him 20 years ago. In 1980s, I used to watch him in the 80s when he was a young lad in his 20s. But he just has these superior genetics from drinking raw milk that he still looks like he's in his 20s now, even though he's really like 80 years old. That joke, if Jason, if you're still there, that joke what is it? Oh man, what your grandfather told you when you were young? Investing is easy, it's simple. You just buy low and sell high. That's like, you don't want to overcomplicate it. You don't want to. Just Buy low and sell high. Let's see. What's some other big caps? How's ApeCoin holding up? ApeCoin. I feel like this could be the sleeper. I'm kidding, guys. You do have the snake eyes over somewhere. ApeCoin. And then Luna 2, somebody told me to look at. This crap. Okay. Well, Luna Classic pumped up more, so yeah, you're gonna. It's like that same type of thing. I mean, you could have more scam wicks up. It's eventually gonna crash. We know that. Like, there's a 98% chance this will eventually crash. It's just catching the right spot. If you're DCAing, not financial advice, I mean, this isn't really the way I trade, but if you're DCAing to a short on like maybe 1x leverage, where would your liquidation point be? Maybe 1x leverage, you might be okay, and then write it all the way down, maybe. It's 89, yep. They had Bitcoin at 89. Luciano, he's from Italy too, I believe. Luciano's from Italy. We have a lot of Italian viewers. Get Aldo, they see like the last name, Aldo, Italian. But yeah. Yeah, we've looked at a lot of this, I feel like it's just the opposite. What's going to happen is what it looks like on the technicals, like the exact opposite of what Jim Cramer said the other week. And because this looks just so bare, like big tech looks so bad right now. In the Apple event too, like guys, Steve Jobs' daughter basically poked fun at it and said how, the new iPhone has no new features. This is a bunch of nonsense. That's how you know. That's how you know that it's done. I mean, probably as bearish as possible once you confirm that red dot, confirm that one there. Kind of similar to here. This really should have been almost a blood diamond. Not close enough to the zero line probably, but should have been. How's the oil holding up? I believe it's still going down, right? Yeah, probably technical target around this point, 54 or something. That's probably where you'd bottom out, something like that. In terms of like big oil, like big tech, big oil, this against the S&P 500 is interesting, I believe, especially on the monthly. Yeah, because you're coming into the green for the first time ever, really. I mean, this was 07, but for Alexis, I think it will probably, outperform the SPY overall for the next couple of years. So if you're one of the people who, FOMO'd into this and you got some patience, you got a little bit of patience, you're probably going to be okay. You'll probably increase some of your SPY shares if you convert it over to SPY. Excuse me. Let's see here. What was the other? This is the one that Warren Buffett's pumping up. Did it come down a little bit? That don't look too hot right there. This stuff will probably come down to you'd probably retest this at some point, but this against the SPY looks really good, and there's more data as well. Right there. Yeah, look at that. Some may argue you already had that because it came up so much, but 4 yellow X's that don't lie. This almost looks like, because you just pumped up so much. I mean, 500%, but it could still, give you a little something. It still could give you, even if it's half 300% over a few years, it's not too bad. This is a long period, though. I mean, this go on to 2030. You're gonna be as old as Warren Buffett then. Jason Casper is gonna be as old as Warren Buffett by then. But yeah. Hype in crypto and football World Cup data. I don't. Oh, you're talking about Oh yeah, I knew that, Luciano. I knew that. Are you talking about You're talking about soccer, right? It was Americans. We call it soccer because we don't we call everything the opposite of what it actually is in this country. You know, like when I say Bitcoin's going up, I really mean it's going down. It's the opposite. You just do the opposite of whatever us Americans say. But no, I don't know about that. But what I will say is, in terms of the Super Bowl, you know, it's 8 months later, 9 months, 8 months later, basically 7 months later. Probably, not a bad time, definitely not a terrible time to buy, I would say, because you already had that hype. It crashed. All those articles saying Tom Brady's Bitcoin collection now down 80%. Brady's getting divorced. His Bitcoin collections, his Bitcoin value is down. The other thing too is, this is probably even more ridiculous than looking at moon cycles. Brady tends to win. He won the Super Bowl, the 9/11 Super Bowl that season. Tends to win in tough times, I believe. I think he lost in 08, 09 or whatever. I'm trying to remember no, that's when they weren't. Well, they made the Super Bowl, they lost. But it could, if there's a real, because you have that, what's that ancient Jewish, some of you guys know what I'm talking about here. The ancient Jews, they had that, I'm not kidding about this. This is actually serious. That, that year principal prediction thing. And basically Q4 of this year is supposed to be a bloodbath based on that. 08 was one of those years. 01 was one of those years. This is one of those years. So that comes down. Q4 is, your complete nightmare. Then Tom Brady wins the Super Bowl, and then it's all good, and you just, tend to recover. Could be that. It could be that. But yeah. Oh, it's in Qatar. I've been to Qatar. Back in '89. No, I'm just kidding. Let's see here. Tom Brady, yeah. What's up, Crypto Face? How you doing, bro? I saw you. I fell asleep during your live stream last night. A little late for me, past my bedtime. But yeah, man, Tom Brady is the man. Hope Gisele's not giving him too much stress. I'm gonna be staying right near Gisele in a couple weeks. She fled to Costa Rica, so I'm gonna be right there. I'm going to Costa Rica next week. But yeah. Yeah, man. Your longs must be doing well. I think you were going long last night. I was half asleep during that. Yeah, everybody's in here. Yeah. I was almost just getting almost done, and then just Casper showed up. Now Crypto Face is showing up. Now I got to repeat everything I already said. Yeah, Crypto Face. I haven't. I didn't really see your analysis. Your analysis lately, so I don't even. Yeah, I just fell asleep during that. But yeah. Oh, Vanessa and Nieto. Everybody's here. Everybody's in Saturday. Yeah, we all, nobody, I was almost gonna just call, not even go live, but everybody's in here tonight. None of us ever go out on a Saturday night. We're just chilling. Well, in Miami, this wouldn't even be, Miami, you don't go out until 1 a.m. So, yeah. Can we check ETH prior chat? We already looked at ETH. I don't know why I'm trying to answer this chat that's not even proper grammar, but I mean, it's that's your bearish case right there. That's 16 days. If that rolls over, all hell could break loose. That rolls over, you could be headed down a lot, I feel like. It's weird. It's not looking good for ETH in the sense that the Bitcoin dominance is going up, and this has been more of a Bitcoin-led rally. So Bitcoin is still kind of showing no, I'm boss, guys. So if you're going to be accumulating, I mean, not financial advice, but I would say mainly, it's still more so Bitcoin than Ethereum. If the merge is successful, things look a little bit better. But I do think dominance is going to, at least do something like this. And then if we did bottom out, typically Bitcoin dominance does, tend to trend upward. Let's see where it was. Here, more of a Bitcoin-led rally. But yeah. Yeah, Vanessa knows about Miami, going out in Miami. It's been a while for me. I remember I liked Story. That was a good place when I was like 21, 22, 40 years ago. Um, let's see. Yeah, we've looked at everything so far. I mean, my main view is what what we were talking about, kind of the opposite of what Jim Cramer thinks is going to happen. Big tech headed down and maybe crypto headed up, which would be a first, but it would be very interesting. And the thing is, too, is it could show some strength of like crypto maybe replacing some of big tech, taking some steam from it. Because this looks bad. Like this looks close to, especially Apple, the main, thing with this is Apple is just, their event was a joke. Steve Jobs' daughter made fun of how the new iPhone doesn't have any new features. Like, I don't know what else. Like, if it doesn't go down, if it does not go down, I don't know. Yeah, kind of like right there. SPY and NASDAQ look as bad as possible. Maybe that could all just keep crypto coming down. But yeah. Any thoughts on Hex? Yeah, let's take a look at that. That looks worse than a lot of things, I would say. If the market has bottomed out, you will get that bullish div here on the weekly and the 7-day. That weekly does not look good. That's the thing too. Like I feel like this, to really fulfill a lot of those, bubble psychology chart patterns, you're gonna have to come down to probably a cent, at least here. I mean, that's the next big point. It did come down like 90 something, yeah, 91, right there. But this looks worse than a lot of other things, I would say, on the weekly especially. Could be just a fluke though. Let's look at some of my like favorite lower caps. Well, not real low caps, but Cosmos. This is interesting. This kind of has a mind of its own lately. You're hitting a major point and rejecting from that. I mean, how much more is this going to go? This looks probably a little bit more bearish than, a lot of the other, more bearish than Bitcoin, a few others. I don't even know why this is very split RSIs too. In terms of money flow, it does look good here. And then Zcash I do like. This is one that could potentially give you life-changing wealth because it's only a $1 billion market cap. Ooh, I like this on your 7-day right here. Yeah, 20. It's the same as Bitcoin, but I kind of want to give this, in terms of money flow, it doesn't look good, but I kind of want to give this a shot. That doesn't look good though, yeah. But this is like one of those where there's gonna be, I feel like, unless the government really cracks down on them, which they might, but there's gonna be one of the privacy coins that goes really high. Zcash is a smaller market cap as Monero, I think, still quite a bit smaller, so it may have more room. DA, I feel like, has been kind of an underperformer. Same thing. If we could get that bullish div, on your weekly. Right now, Jason, because of what I said. Yeah. Take a look at Gala and Matic. We looked at Matic. We look at Gala. Jason, you're still here, man. You guys missed the earthquake earlier. Not a real earthquake, but there was something shaking, and I don't know what it is or was in the house I'm in. Gala. Yeah, I mean, there's the case to be made for the bottom on a lot of these. It's just, Low time frames a little bearish. High time frames pretty good. 3 LXs. This would kind of, there's probably more data. If we zoom out more, it would look more like there's room to come down probably. I don't. Is there more data on this one? No. This one, no. Coinbase, Kisos, no. Yeah, I mean, engine. Yeah, let's look at engine. Coming up with money flow, split our size. Kind of like everything else, guys. About to get that bullish div on the 7-day. That's the thing. I mean, some people would, you would make the. I didn't even realize this was around back then. Yeah, people would make the argument you're coming down to this point or here, that capitulation, or we bottomed out. Yeah, those are two main arguments. 90% down. I mean, last bull cycle, a lot of things came down even more than 92%. But you can make the argument there's more adoption now, more people are into it. Inflation, that's why we don't come down as much. But yeah. Alrighty, guys. We had a great turnout. Crypto Face, Vanessa was on, Jason Casper was on. Everybody was here. Man, we gotta get all four of us. Well, stocks and Bitcoin have a monthly dump and pump. Hard to say. For Bitcoin, it seems like with the 7-day and all that, you would continue forward a little bit more. So maybe pump up to 22. This area, high 22 is a spiral line, big area. How's the SPY looking in terms of short time frames on what we'll see on Monday? Still relatively okay. Kind of neutral. I think you could pump a little bit more. You could probably come up to this like 410 or something. If it's like 08 and 01, you could come up to 410 here, 412. I was looking at that earlier. So yeah. Do I scalp trade or swing trade? Both Mark Saunders. SPY bounce from the golden pocket. Jason, what do you think with the SPY? Are you as bearish on the SPY as I am on the SPX? Because the SPY looks, terrible in my opinion. It did get bounced from the golden pocket here. Yeah, it did. There was a little. I mean, it depends which golden pocket you're referring to. There's this golden pocket. Ooh, there's that golden pocket. And then it just keeps there. What's this in there? This is what us cool kids do on our Saturday nights. Alrighty, guys, getting a little tired here. 10:20. Get off probably. Been trading Bitcoin using SPX. I was bearish, but this is key support. It might hold. Okay. Yeah, I could see that at least for a little bit. I think we'll most likely come down. I mean, my main view before like a 50% correction, major recession with the SPY is maybe you can make it till 2024 or 2025. I think that's the absolute longest you could make it, and maybe Powell will just, you know, turn on the printer in time or whatever and just keep it going and then retire and let the next person, you know, deal with it. So yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say tonight. We've talked about a lot of stuff. We've been live for an hour and 16 minutes here. I'm gonna get off, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Shout out to CryptoFace. Sure, all you guys know who CryptoFace is, but check out his channel. One last hyperinflationary pump. Oh, that is, you know, that is possible, JC. Yeah, for the next 2 years, that hyperinflationary pump maybe. Check out Jason Casper's channel as well. Thanks so much for a super chat, buddy. We'll do a collab pretty soon. Vanessa Nieto, thanks for joining too. Shout out to Vanessa for rocking the market site for merch on Instagram. And Jason Casper does that too with giant muscles. I know Jason was telling me he wakes up and injects steroids every morning. That's what he does to keep those giant muscles. If you're on steroids and someone says that, then it's they get angry. If you're not on steroids, it's a huge compliment. But yeah, guys. All right, guys. Have a good night. Thanks so much for joining me. Goodbye.